Get your eggs out of the fridge for this one. Hi everyone, it's Tash and welcome to another recipe video. And today we are making a super simple in theory egg sando. It's a Japanese style egg sandwich. And you're going to want to need room temperature eggs for this recipe, otherwise the timings aren't going to work. I said this recipe is simple in theory because you're literally just boiling and smashing up some eggs. But if you want a really jammy yolked egg for the centre egg, then you are going to need to follow some timing rules and some temperature rules. Now obviously if you cook your eggs straight from the fridge, they're going to start off cold and they're going to take longer to heat up and then longer to start cooking, which means of course you'll need a longer time to cook it to get your desired texture. Whereas starting from room temperature, that means your eggs will take less time to get to that point. So for my recipe, my instructions are for room temperature eggs. So I store my eggs in the fridge because I'm British. I know not everyone does that, there's no wrong way really, as long as you don't eat your eggs after 2 years. Egg is fresh, egg is good. And when I take my eggs out of the fridge to come to room temperature, I usually leave them for about half an hour, just to make sure they're all a uniform temperature. And that's the only thing you really need to bear in mind for this recipe. The rest is super simple. And we're going to make boiled eggs with 2 different stages of setting today. We're going to make the jammy one, the soft boiled one, and we're going to make some hard boiled ones because we also want to smash them up to make the egg mayo filling. So let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. The only prep work you need to do for this recipe is to chop 1 spring onion, which we're going to do now. And we just top and tail it to get rid of the old bits and the rooty bits. This is a bit of an old spring onion. And give it a chop. That's that done. Let's do the eggs. Hi. So we've got some boiling water, and when I say boiling I mean properly on a roiling boil. Roiling? Rolling? One of those two. Basically you want it to be nice and bubbling like this. This is a proper boil. This is good heat. Now we're going to boil some eggs. We're going to use 3 eggs in total today, but we're going to soft boil one of them, which we're going to do in a minute. Let's do hard boil ones first. Gonna lower these 2 eggs in, and we're simply going to boil them for 10 minutes. We just have a couple of minutes left, and I've actually prepared some ice water that we're going to put the eggs in a minute. Oh, that's that done, and we're going to immediately fish these out and pop them in the cold water, and this stops the cooking process. This is even more important when you do the soft egg in a minute. Now I've topped the water up because I still want there to be enough to cover the eggs and some of it evaporated off, and I brought it back up to a rolling boil. And now this egg we are only going to cook for 6 minutes, and we're going to be very on the ball on this, so dump it in and start. And also straight off the bat I'm going to roll it very gently with a spoon, just stirring it, so that's going to centre the yolk in the middle. Otherwise if it just stays on one side, the yolk's going to fall to one side. This is totally optional, by the way, this is just for aesthetics. We have 1 minute left on the timer. I've stopped stirring because it should be fine by now, and I've prepared some ice water. And straight away, after 6 minutes is up, I'm going to put it straight in that ice water. Now let's make our egg mayo filling. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to free these eggs from their shells. These are our 10-minute hard-boiled ones. Now we're going to start it off by giving a bit of a mash. Now we're going to season it. I'm going to start with 1 tablespoonful of mayo. May add 2. This is roasted garlic mayo, by the way. It's more traditional to use plain mayo. If you want to be really traditional, then Japanese mayo like Kewpie. Gonna add in our spring onions too. God, they like to go everywhere today. Just a little pinch of salt, not too much. And a good crack of freshly ground black pepper. Let's give this a mix and see if we need any more mayo. You know what, I'm going to add another half tablespoonful. It's not coming out, come on! Whoa! There we go. Nice, let's set this aside. Now it's time to make the sandwich. Now I'm going to lay down some grease-proof baking paper here because I want to wrap my sandwich aesthetically. I don't know if I'll be able to do it aesthetically, that's another problem, but we'll get to it when we get to it. You don't have to do this part, by the way, you can literally just make your sandwich. And here I've got 2 lovely thick slices of Japanese milk bread, shokupan. I'm going to lay these down here. Now I'm going to give them a good old buttering, and this is slightly salted butter. Now we need to fill the sandwich, and I'm actually going to start with the soft-boiled egg, which we now need to peel, and this is the part I am scared of. But I shouldn't be scared because it's just an egg. Right, this is our soft-boiled egg. Let's open it up and hope it peels nicely like the other ones did. Oh, it's got a little divot. I don't think that matters though. That's interesting. Usually that happens at the bottom of an egg. Oh, it's peeling nicely, guys. Ah, that is beautiful. Let's get rid of the shell. Bring this guy back. And we are going to lay this on one side right in the middle. Which one shall we do? I choose this one. I'm going to do it divot side up so I can fill that. Which one's more structurally stable? Actually, divot side down is more stable. Let's keep it that way then. I'm actually going to do it this way, and I'm going to try and remember to cut this way too. This is the top and I'll cut this way. Okay, in theory that should work. And now we're going to take our filling and layer it up all around that egg. So create a little egg bed for our egg. Now I'm just going to sandwich this slice on top. Give it a bit of a press, very gently. Stick this in the middle. Now let's see how we're going to fold this up. So folding up the sandwich isn't that complicated. You're basically taking either side of the baking paper and, as you can see, twisting it around and around until it meets the sandwich. And then basically what you have to do is flip the whole thing over and tuck those spare bits underneath. Like that. I'm not the neatest sandwich wrapper, but that will do. And now for the moment of truth, we are going to cut it. So I've got my nice sharpened knife here. And let's have a look. Oh, look at this. Amazing. I'm so happy with that. Wow, look at those stunning yolks. Absolutely glistening. Love the fluffiness of the bread and the squishiness of the yolks. I couldn't resist a squeeze. Wow, look at these. Whoops. Because the egg yolks are so successfully running, I obviously don't want to tip it for too long because the egg yolks will run out. And what is going on with my hair? This would probably be enough for 2 people, so I might wrap one up and pop it in the fridge and just eat the other for lunch. I really do recommend using shokupan or tangjong milk bread for this recipe because the bread adds that little subtle sweetness and it's so fluffy and it's a little bit rich. I think it's the perfect type of bread for this. Right, I'm going to eat it now. Speaking of which, I would normally do this at a table like a civilised person, but because this is a small apartment and I'm filming, where should I put it? This is probably a very bad idea. I need to get my hair out of the way as well. This is a super bad idea now. I need to unwrap a little bit. I'm not unhappy with how I wrapped it. I think I did okay. And now I'm going to attempt to fit this in my face, so cheers. Oh, I missed a bit of the egg, excuse me. That's a good egg sandwich. And the yolk is absolutely perfect too. It's not too runny, it's not liquid all the way through, just in the centre so you get that lava effect when you slice it. And the rest is kind of jammy in texture, so lovely. And of course, got a good solid egg mayo filling there. That garlic mayo just elevates it a bit, and don't worry about the smell. You're going to be smelling like egg anyway. Might as well add some garlic to it. Very good sandwich. Very big sandwich. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you will join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com and find me on Instagram. I am tashcakes.tastes. I'm also on TikTok, by the way. Now I am food in slow motion. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you liked it to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I'll see you guys next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. I kind of have to unhinge my jaw like a snake to eat this.